going on out there, everybody? Hey, we are about to go in on Euphoria. This is episode 3. It's a Sunday night. Hopefully, you guys are either watching the movie, watching this episode right now, or just got done watching it. We are about to go in deep with spoilers. We did do a slight non-spoiler review of Euphoria, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring everybody in right now. What's going on, people? You guys, episode 3. Is it safe to say this is the best episode of season 2 so far?
Yes.
Is it safe to say?
Yes. This is the best. This is my personal favorite episode of season 2.
Season 2.
Yeah.
So I guess we can just go ahead and go into it, but just straight up, why is this the best for you? Like, I think that we should just go ahead and go straight for the jugular, because there's different things that we're going to pick a piece apart with this. I'm going to be focused on Rue quite a bit, as well as, Nate's dad. But I think that there are things to pick apart from every direction. But why is this one of the best episodes of season 2?
I feel like this is the first episode so far of season 2 where seismic things just stacked on top of each other from a narrative standpoint. I feel that many of the decisions and events that took place in this episode will determine the outcome of all the episodes to come, maybe even the finale unto itself. Like, I think there was major things that happened in this episode.
I completely agree. Nat, what are your thoughts?
I agree. There is definitely some decisions, especially on Rue's part, that's gonna have repercussions on probably several characters, including her family. Like, you already saw a hint of that definitely in this episode with the gaslighting. And I know you're gonna get into it, but ooh, doggy. And we got Cal's background finally. And it's weird to say, but it's not saying much, but for now, I like Cal more than I like Nate right now, but it's not by much. I mean, because they're both dicks. But I can understand. I have an understanding now a little bit of where Cal is coming from a little bit, but that still doesn't excuse. Like, he created Nate. He helped create Nate and who he is today, so he doesn't get a pass on that front. But as far as the circumstances in which he finds himself in, because I feel like low-key he wanted Ashtray or someone to kill him. When he went to Fez's place, he wanted to die. I feel like low-key. He wanted something to happen, and then that way it's done. He doesn't have to worry about it. But who knows?
We're definitely going to get into that sequence, because that sequence was one of the best to me. And what about you? Why do you think this is one of the best episodes?
So for a lot of detractors that we talked to, thought that the first episode was just a lot of like pow type of stuff to get in your face. If they were missing some of the quiet moments or subtle moments, I think that this really did show it. I think it's one of the best flashbacks we've had in a while. I think that this seeing Cal's backstory, seeing how his father interacted with him, that whole get off the bed scene, stand up, and all that. You saw that really reminiscence of how he interacts with Nate. And so seeing this generational thing build up, and how the fathers and sons issue, and not being able to be who or explore who you are, or be comfortably who you are. I just thought that was great. Ashtray don't play. So very honest character right there. And it makes me are Ashtray and Fez the most emotionally stable people in this show? Are they the most healthy emotional people in this show?
They're certainly they're probably the smartest. They're probably the smartest, bizarrely.
Yeah.
There was just so much in there. We got that meta from Rue was on point, just telling you that I don't know what you're expecting from this show and what you're expecting from my character, but just in case, let me walk you through this again. I know it's been a while. Let me walk this through and try to prove this up. There was a lot of great acting from this, from the what's the counselors are the
Coleman Domingo.
Mr. Coleman.
Ali.
Yeah.
Ali. Excellent job. You felt that passion. And when you have there's certain types of personalities that know how to go in and trigger you to get a response out of you. And when you and it's a danger when you open up to somebody. That's why I think you cross those borders. There's so much in this episode. I go on, but I don't think there was a moment wasted. It was all good. It was all quality television.
Right. Man, it's gonna be so hard to dissect this. Let's just go and pivot certain things. So we'll go into Cal. The episode started off with Cal's backstory and who he is. The fact that he was a wrestler, the fact that he was the golden boy. He's got a best friend. I forgot his best friend's name. They were like Derek. Yep. And they were just tight. You know what I'm saying? And they did literally everything together. But you could tell that there was some other things going on in the backdrop. Because the moment that Cal got a girlfriend, like, you know, Derek immediately got a girlfriend too. And it was like, it just kept progressing from there to the point that when Cal started telling him, you know, what happened with them, their first interaction, and they were on the bed, that goes back to callback with what Ant was talking about. I don't know if you guys caught it, but it felt like, I mean, they may have been like, let's just say, feeling each other a little bit too much, to the point where I felt like Cal was trying to cover himself up, and that's why he didn't want to get up. Because when Derek left, he kind of had something underneath his pants, and he kind of walked out. And it was like, I could tell like where this was going, but I couldn't have anticipated that by the end of it, you know, Derek and him ended up together, even though they were supposed to be going to separate schools. But it was like Cal got stuck in a situation, then transitioned to Cal deciding to go and confront Fez, which I think that whole entire scene is legendary. But before we get into that, what did you guys think about the backstory and what is actually happening? Anything that you guys want to pull from that?
But just real quick, so are they? So I guess Cal is bisexual. Is that what
I think honestly that Cal has always been attracted to his best friend. I think he's attracted to men. It may be that is his preference, but based on who he is, the golden boy, the athlete, and who his dad is, he cannot. I don't know. Y'all disagree? I don't think he can truly be what he wanted to be, and that's where he got down this line of issues that we got today, and where he is right now as an individual. But I don't know. I might be wrong on that.
But it seemed like he at least liked what he was doing with his girlfriend, like, you know, going downtown. Like, he seemed to enjoy that immensely.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
I don't know.
Is he bisexual? You know?
That's what I'm thinking. He may be bisexual, but he's leaning towards, you know, he seems to be more attracted to men, but that doesn't mean he's not attracted at all to women.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No. You weren't finished. I was interrupting.
No, I was just wondering, where is Derek? I want to know where Derek is, and if he's going to pop up at some point. I'm kind of hoping he does, but if he doesn't, I mean, it is what it is, but it just would have been interesting to see him pop up and just what will happen with that. And I'm just wondering, is Cal now married to the chick who pretty much got pregnant? Like, is that the mom?
Yeah, I thought it was the same name, right? I forgot.
I wasn't really sure, 100% sure, so that's why I was asking. I'm assuming it is, but yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Ann.
That was my thought too. I think that she is. Also makes me wonder where this story takes place. Does the story take place in the 90s and we don't know about it? Because that's the 70s, 80s.
I feel like 70s, 80s, because I feel like you couldn't really own your truth back then. So I think there was another layer to that too with that. So
there was a cordless phone though. When Cal was talking, as soon as he pulled up his darn underpants, he was talking to him on like this cordless phone. So I think it's got to be like the 80s or 90s.
Good grief, I'm old.
It had to be. It had to be the 80s.
Okay, so it was, but yeah, so I thought it was the same person. So what I got from it was that. Because remember, he wasn't the aggressor of his first initial sexual experience with
not at
her.
all, right?
I think he kind of like leaned back into it. So it was orgasm. He was orgasm. I think that he was using her as an appropriate quote unquote appropriate. Not that I think the other way isn't appropriate outlook, outlet for his sexual aggressions. Right.
Yeah, that's
so he wrestles with his friend.
Say.
Right. So he wrestles with his friend and he looks at her. He's like, all right, I got to get this out somewhere. Bang. All right, I'm hanging out with my friend. Now I'm going to go get that. And I'll come back and say like a bang. So I think that he's functionally bisexual, but he's probably really just homosexual. And I think and I wonder, because the look on his wife's face when she was envying their son having sex was, I don't think she's had sex in a long time, or at least not regularly.
It seems like it.
So that's the vibe I picked up on it. So that's where I thought about that. But I thought the whole sequence was amazing to put more of a face on this character. I think it's easy just to call somebody a villain, but we often don't look at what steps lead. We were all kids at some point. Something right. Shaped or passed on to us or helped developed or switch things in our DNA that make us our genetics to make us more prone to certain behaviors or not. So I love seeing that, and I also love just his realization that I think my son got me again.
Right? Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Astray Fez situation.
But I could be wrong. Also, I could be wrong. That's what I got from it.
I mean, it just makes you wonder him, in a way, reliving high school by him banging minor folk. I don't know. And then with Jules, it's kind of like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and he chose somebody with what do you call it? Pre-op, right? So I don't know if she's gonna get op, but like because we see from the urination scene that she still has a penis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's like, hey, I'm with a woman, but I can still, you know what I mean? So I can still imagine this.
Yeah, I thought the opening was extremely strong. Because, like, on one level, I mean, like, catching feelings for someone, like, I feel like it's universally is like what is portrayed with the flashback, sort of irregardless of sexuality, you know what I mean? So I feel like there's like a sort of universal relatability to the flashback that really struck me, you know? That sort of sense that you're hanging, you're interacting with someone, you're interacting well, and you're like, oh shit, did I just catch some feelings? Oh shit, I can't control this. Yeah, it was relatable and just like weirdly tragic, you know?
Yeah, it was sad.
It really struck a chord with me. It caught me off guard, to be honest, emotionally. Definitely caught me off guard. Yeah,
because it was like Cal, even in the flashback, he didn't seem like a bad dude.
No,
it just seemed like he was in a pressure cooker situation, because even when his dad told him to stood up, that's when he said to them at the dinner table, he's like, oh, I've got a girlfriend now.
I was going to say,
try to throw off any other thing, because his dialogue was that, Ruth said it because she's a narrator, but basically that he liked that she took risks. He liked that she pushed him. And anytime that he didn't know what he was doing, she was showing him what he needed to do, and he got good at it. He got good at mimicking it.
I would like to highlight one moment when you said his name was Derek, when Cal and the guy in the flashback, when it's almost as if like they finally like clicked, and they start kissing at the bar. I can't remember where they're at. For those of you who don't know, we watch these episodes early and we don't have the luxury of rewinding. But yeah, that moment where they like finally kiss, it just felt like like sort of like a tightrope tightening, and then finally there was like a release. It was a very, very emotional opener for sure.
Yeah. And because he was not subtle when he was looking at that man's package throughout this whole flashback. He was not subtle at all.
No, sir.
Like, stay like, what?
But
what you say?
Right.
What?
I mean, Derek was the same way when they pretty much wrestled and he won. It was kind of like, it's like you said, as soon as he got a girlfriend, he got super aggressive with it. So it seems like Cal doesn't want to take the initiative. He wants someone else to take the initiative, and that's when he kind of like rolls with it. And that was with both Derek and with his wife or his girlfriend at the
Shame we
time.
can't remember her name. This is shame.
I mean, look, they sitting there just listening to their son having sex. Didn't even. Cal couldn't say anything because Nate got him, in a vice. Like, he's blackmailed. But let's go ahead and get into the thing that we wanted to talk about. The Cal, Fez, Faye, and Ashtray sequence.
Faye, why was Faye there? Faye should not have been there.
I mean, Faye is literally living with Fez. She's just gonna be there until she eventually kicks the bucket, which we already know that some kind of way she probably will. But the way that I did not suspect, I don't know if you guys thought it was gonna happen, but I did not suspect that one, Ashtray would pull up on him with a shotgun. Mm-hmm. Two, that Ashtray was like, he don't want to call no cops. I'm gonna show you. Hold on. He just proceeds to bash this man's head with the brand of this freaking shotty.
He didn't care.
And it was crazy because it goes back to what Nat said. He even imagined, he was like, man, in the back of his head, he's like, he wanted to die. Like, he wanted to blow his own head off. So it was kind of like he was on a suicide mission because he's desperate. But it was kind of like the crazy thing that happened was that Fez was like, bruh, what? Like Fez's reactions to everything that this man is saying and everything that's being reciprocated from a conversation standpoint, I felt like was gold from a television standpoint. Like, I loved everything about that sequence. But what did you guys think about it?
Bro,
this conversation needed to happen. It did.
Right. Well, I didn't think it was gonna happen. I didn't think it was gonna come out like that. Like, Fez is like, wait, you had sex with Rue? And you filmed it? What's wrong with you, man? Like, he was like, what is wrong with you? What kind of
Jules? He had sex with Jules.
Yeah, Jules. Like, what kind of family are you guys? And
Jorel, sorry, I interrupted you. So what were you trying to say?
Oh crap!
Yeah. No, I was just saying that the Fez's reaction, that whole sequence is so meme worthy. Like, I know ad-libbing, but like when Ashtray was like, pick up the phone, dial 911, do it, just hitting them again and again, and fucking Cal's like, if you hit me one more time, bam, and Fez's dead ass reaction to him being like, man, you fuck with Jules. I don't want to hear this shit, man. He was like, man, your son's a bitch, man. Tell him I told him that. Like, I was just legendary.
Okay, so what made it so bad? Oh, go ahead, Aunt.
That was what he's like. He deserved that shit. He's a bitch.
I was like, Cal, why are you still talking? You obviously know that he doesn't know shit. So why are you still talking? Shut up.
I assume it was the multiple concussions. That's what
I think he might be concussed. I think he was shocked.
Okay, is that what it was?
I think he thought he was about to die.
On that.
You don't explain your secret to people you're trying to keep secrets from. You are bad at this secret thing. I don't know how you haven't been in jail long before this. You must be white privilege.
And I'm surprised. and I'm surprised that Fez wasn't like, okay, he messed with my money. That's all he really needed to say for Cal to comprehend. Oh, it's not about what Nate was even trying to say. Like, it was, but like you said, he was concussed. He was starting to get, because he got hit in the head so much that, he wasn't in his right mind. So he was just like, and again, suicide mission. He just want to confess his sins and just end it. So
yeah, because it was crazy, because I think that at a certain point he was like, man, shoot, so soon as they had me in here, like, I might die for real. And the moment that he realized, flip, they don't know where the disc is. They didn't know that any of this happened. And they don't even care. Like, that, I think that's the thing that is so epic about the fact that Ashtray and Fez is like, bro, I don't care nothing about any of this. Like, can you get him out of here? And like, Ashtray was like, nah, bro, we got to kill him. And he was like, yo, let's come here, Ash. Let's talk for a second.
And it was funny trying to see him take control of the situation again, verbally and just physically in different ways, and it just keeps shut down. It's like you and your son got shut down by the same brother. like overall, this control thing you think you have is an illusion outside of your power sphere. right? So and then Ash was like, we can't let this guy leave. Crazy, like they probably nobody knows he's here. He trying to hide secrets. Sorry, bro. Like, and you can see Fez has a little bit of a leash on Ashtray, and that leash is just a little bit of loyalty.
Just a little bit.
But I think if Ashtray gets like more bold, like I'm better at this than you, man. No, I'm gonna make some executive decisions here because you look too soft.
Right.
But I also think Fez is looking at it because I think Fez and Loki knows like who Cal is, so he's not trying to deal with that, and Ashtray is not understanding that. So as long as they have an understanding, he doesn't give a shit. Like that's why he was like, "Look, as long as you don't mess with Rue and Jules, I don't care what you do. You do you. We do what we need to do. You do you. I don't just leave me alone." You and your son just need to leave us alone. I'm not trying to hang with you. I don't care about you.
I wonder what Ashtray thinks about, because Ashtray seems to be about the business. Like I don't really get that he's friends with Rue and Jules and all that. I think I wonder, he's like, man, you got your personal stuff keep interfering with your friends' personal stuff keeps interfering with our business. Right. You know what I mean?
True. Very true.
And I don't think he's about that. I don't think he's about that at all. So yeah, I loved everything about that scene. And it was also interesting that I think, like you said, nobody cares. This is not the time you grew up in. So those core fears you have, the majority majority do not care what you like. Nobody cares what you like. Your circle or I don't know. They never showed they were religious or anything. If his religious circle or something like that, they might care. But the majority of the world do not care, except that she's a minor. And that you taped it like an idiot. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But now that Faye knows the situation, I just don't know she's a wild card. And I'm just like, that's why I'm like, why? She didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
I just hate that she's there. Like, could she have been in another room? Like, could she have just been on a walk or something and she was off on her own while they had this conversation? Like, I just hate that she was there.
I mean, Cal was stupid. She asked, "What's your name?"
Oh, my name's Cal.
Like, you don't know this chick. Like, what are you? Why would you give her anything?
Yeah.
But you know, she's like a 5-year-old. The minute she sees Rue or Jules, she's gonna say everything she knows about that person.
Right.
Yeah, I was just about to say with Cal, it's I don't know. There was a bit of an eeriness when it sort of clicked in Cal's mind, like, oh, my bitch ass son played me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
With like the blood trickling down his face, because it's like not only did Cal quite literally just make his situation worse because more people know that he slept with a fucking minor now. And what they do with that information is completely out of this nigga's control. It could be used against him at any point in time. And dig into the bottom of his nasty deeds would not take much effort. Tape or no tape, really. But because all you need is the right confession, my nigga's done. But it does make you sort of think, what was Cal thinking? You know what I'm saying? Like, even if he was to sort of go home and just sort of like choke slam Nate and put a knife to his throat, like, I mean, there's still the issue of the tape. There's still the issue of multiple people who can sort of confess and speak against you and win against you. So it'll be curious to see what Cal's, I guess, next chess moves are.
Yeah. I think that's a real question, because honestly, there's nothing that he can really do. He can keep playing the stupid card like he doesn't know what Nate is doing until Nate either comes up with the tape or doesn't. Because right now he can't make any moves. Like he really just needs to kind of stay in his lane. But the fact that he knows everything and he also knows that Fez knows and doesn't care, gives him a slight advantage. But I also don't know what Nate's doing. I think that Nat asked the question, like, what is Nate planning and what is he doing? Why is he playing chess with these two girls? Because how many weeks would they say? It was like 2 or 3 weeks that he was with Cassie having sex with her, like every weekend.
3 months now,
like
right? Is it 3 months now or something like that?
I can't remember.
The bathroom confession, which the fake one.
Oh, yeah.
Did she say like up to 3 months or something, or 3 months and so many days, or I don't know.
could
Or no,
be.
that was how long they were broke up. That might have been how long they were broken up before she did something.
I don't remember how many. I remember saying weeks, but I can't remember how many.
I do feel that Fez is safer now. I know that seems weird after they pistol whipped him, but I do feel like he's a little safer from repercussions at this point.
100%.
Cal, yes, but we're gonna get to Rue. But yeah, as far as Cal's concerned, he has no beef with Fez now. It's over and done with.
Right.
But I don't know. Nate may still do something stupid, but I just don't know. But yeah, Nate, I do think he still wants the tape, and that's why he's sucking up to Maddie now. And he just treats Cassie like trash, but she's allowing it. And unfortunately, because she has her own issues, she fell for a hook, line, and sinker, and she kirked out. I was so hoping that was real. That was real.
That was a well acted scene too.
It was. But yeah, I wanted that to be real so bad, so we could get it over with. Like Maddie beat her down a little bit, and it's over and done with. But it's funny that she dressed up just like Maddie, and that's when he gave her a little more attention than he did before. Because she's like, it's like ritualistic now. Like it's a routine. It's something that calms her, and it's like she wants this attention, and it's like she understands that he can't really acknowledge her in school. That's part of the thrill of it. And I'm just like, baby girl, just no. You're in this twisted, like, bad situation. At least with McKay, it just seemed like at least McKay at least gave a shit. Nate doesn't give a shit.
Right.
Yeah. Cassie's acting when that first time he had turned and acknowledged her in any slightest way, her acting through that whole walk was amazing. All her body language, her facial expressions, they were so on point. This cast is actually pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
Especially for their ages.
Yeah. I think the thing about the Cassie and Nate situation is that Nate said something. I watched the episode twice, and Nate said something on the lines like, "I love how sick you are." And I didn't understand the depths of what that meant until later on watching it again, because I was like, wait, hold up. He's making her sick. And he is liking what is transferring her to being. Like everything that Nat just said, this ritualistic kind of thing and what she's becoming is all a byproduct of what Nate is created around her. Like he's transforming her into this. And she had all these insecurities, all these different faults before, but now he's just taking advantage of every single part of it. He's making her sick, and like she's allowing it. And I don't know where this is going, but I feel like it's going to be used against Maddie in some way, shape, or form. And I don't know how or why. But do you guys think this? Do you think if Nate asked Cassie, I need you to get something from Maddie, and I need you to not get caught, do you think she would do it without even
100%?
Yeah.
100%. She's waking up. Hold on a second. I enlarged myself. She's waking up at fucking like 4 a.m. Like ritualistically to sort of like seem enticing to this fool, and then my man's just power walking past her day after day after day.
Right.
Like literally, if he said jump, she probably would. So yeah, I think the answer is definitely yes, for sure.
Again, when she kirked out, she was like, I'm happy. I'm like, how are you? How is this happy? This isn't healthy. I'm worried. I can't, it's just, this is, Nate just preyed on this girl that knows that she needs to work on herself, but she just fell right back into an even worse pattern. It was like McKay was like the first person, and she wound up cheating on him. So of course that whole thing was messed up, but it's like this is an even worse situation now that she's in. Like again, McKay was at least a little bit more stable, but yeah, she needs to work. She needs to work on herself ASAP. Kat, I hope we'll get to Kat, because Kat,
You can bring up Kat because I'm holding out on Rue. So go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, Kat was an interesting situation too because we see Ethan and like she meets the parents for the first time, and the answer that she gave was actually an understandable answer. And I don't know from the mom's response if that was a good thing or a bad thing, or was just something that she was even unsure how to respond to that answer.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that was her real answer.
Her response was rude, bro. I didn't like the way the mom responded to that.
Yeah,
I don't know if I would respond to it either, to be quite frank. I don't know if I would have been as rude, but I think I would have been like, oh, that's very profound, actually. But I just don't know what I would say in that situation. Like, I don't. But it was at least honest. And I gotta commend her for that. Because they're teenagers. They are finding themselves in a way. And I feel like even as adults, sometimes if we don't have that path clear, we are still finding ourselves. And it's a ongoing process as far as like improving and just being better. So I want more Kat. Like, and I know that it's a ticking time bomb with her and Ethan. Because it's like, I don't even think she even cared that he got a part in Lexi's play. Are we gonna get to Lexi, please?
She didn't care about that play at all because she's so hurt and messed up within herself. Like she's sitting there eating popcorn and sitting to the side looking at TV. Like she's falling into a slight depression, and I don't really know where that's gonna go as far as a relationship, because she really likes this boy and she knows that he's good for her, but she's not happy with herself. So I don't know where that's gonna lead to. As far as Lexi, I mean, yeah, you can go into Lexi because Lexi, we finally get an understanding of way Lexi's mind works and how she looks at everything like it's like a movie or a show that she's kind of directing.
And I can understand, like you said, I can completely understand where she's coming from with that, because we've noticed, even in the first season, she felt like it just seemed like people weren't really noticing her. Like it was like she was invisible, but she wasn't. Like she was on the peripheral and observing shit. And yeah, she may say something occasionally, but that's why I was so proud of her last week. And now she's taking initiative as far as like writing a play and actually showing her play, or, actually going through with it. So I think this is hopefully an awakening as far as Lexi is concerned, as far as finding herself and finding her voice. I think it's important that she finds her voice, because otherwise I can see how she would get lost in, the Cassie show and just like whatever her mom's on. Like, I can see how that could affect someone like that. Like, I get it. So, more Lexi, please. And hopefully we'll get more Fez and Lexi. Can we not get interrupted by Faye again? I hope that.
Man, look, that play is going to end. By the end of that play, somebody's going to end up dying in that play. Like, these people, I could have never anticipated that from season 1 to season 2 that these kids would be significantly worse off this much. Like I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it would go to these lengths, because it's kind of like she really likes Fez. And the only reason why she's trying to work on this play is because she's trying to kind of push it to the side because she can't deal with it. So she wants something to control and try to work with. But she really wants to spend time with Fez. And right now, Fez is about to be in a bad way. And this is all tied to Rue. But Ant, I know you had something. So what's up?
Oh, no, I keep switching because I bring up so many good points. But I think it's also weird that I'm in the show like, man, let this man deal drugs in peace. Like, you people leave him alone. Like, let this man deal his narcotics in peace.
Low key.
Okay, all right. I feel like Lex is. I really liked her sequence, and they hit home with something that someone had said to me this week, which is that they felt like they were a mid-level boss in everybody else's life, and that they people use them as progression to get to the next level. And I was like, long story short, like going away, that's if you think of yourself like a stepping stone for everybody else around you, you know what I mean, to get to their next level, but that you never progress. And I thought it was interesting how that's how she thought of herself, as a background or a side character or an extra character or something like that. Because I think one of the lines was, I want to make a show about was it the side character or the background character?
Yeah, the sidekick being the main character.
The sidekick being the main character. And so where it's interesting to think that she's never felt as though she was the point, or that this life or this play or this television show that's going on around her, that she was ever the star. And that's really telling how she thinks of herself. And it's really telling the lens. They've done a really good job of showing the lens of how everybody views the world around them and how those lenses can conflict or reflect off each other. Or it's a really interesting. So I'm really interested in how much we see of her in this play and the roles that she has for different people and who they represent. I know that was long. Sorry. Thanks for dealing with it.
No. I think that's all. All this is really important.
Yeah, it was very weirdly meta, and wasn't there a play? What was it called? Oklahoma or something?
I feel like it's Oklahoma.
Oklahoma dress.
I feel like it's like fuck Oklahoma, okay? Like F it. Like I thought that was hilarious. And her assistant, okay, another black character. One of the few, I feel like, black characters that we've seen in this show. Interesting. But okay. She doesn't like Oklahoma. She's very happy to assisting Lex with this play.
her voice was so weird. It just did not fit her. I was kind of like, maybe, I didn't want to, some people have completely different voices and what they actually look like, but I was like, she's got a really soft voice and it sounds like a little kid. It doesn't seem like a high schooler. And I was like, this is weird. But yeah, she was really ready to help Lexi, I guess. But anyway, I had said in the discussion last week that I was wondering of a character that I felt like could end up being like the villain, quote unquote, of the story. And I'm not saying that she's the villain right now just yet, but I personally have to detach from her. And I'm talking about Rue. Rue in this episode, she brought me back. I'm gonna pull this picture up. She brought me back to this Rue. I had forgotten this Rue. I had forgotten what addiction does from a desperational standpoint, and the links and the vocal attacks and the manipulation and the tactics by any means necessary that she's willing to go to, because that's what this whole entire episode was about from the beginning to the end. I mean, it started off with her, dancing with a pillow high as a kite, to going to the kitchen, and I think she's making some Pop-Tarts and drinking some milk or something. And it ended with the fact that her sister looked at her like, "Are you high?" And then it flashes back to, oh, well, she goes through this scenario where in the event that you get caught like this is how you set up. And that whole entire setup and the abuse and the manipulation to her own flesh and blood was unthinkable in and of itself. But just throughout all the decisions that Rue made in this episode, I have to detach myself emotionally from her. Like, I love Z and the way she's acting as the character, but I cannot look at her as I don't know. Y'all know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Definitely. Can you bring up the picture where you said where she was like really worse off before, the picture where she was standing in front of Fez? I think it's
yeah.
Can you bring that up real quick?
This is her desperation moment.
Yes, thank you. Because for me, I understand where you're coming from when you use like the word villain or villainous, but I respectfully disagree. In my opinion, the Rue that we were looking at right there in that image has been the exact same Rue the entire time. She kind of reminds me, there's a film that I watched, it's from A24. It's called Red Rocket with Simon Rex. It's on my top 10 list of favorite movies from last year. Highly, highly recommended. Fantastic film. Simon Rex plays a bad guy as the main character, but he's charismatic, he's fun. There's funny moments, but it's easy to lose sight that like this nigga's dark as fuck. Like he's not a good person. But yet he's like compelling, like he's fun. And for me, Rue is like the exact same way. This Rue that we're looking at in this picture, that's been Rue the entire time. So your comments about detaching are curious because she never changed in my mind, And I said before, she's probably gonna prove to be the most tragic character, and I think that is definitely telling in this episode. It was deeply moving, but it's just like that is her though.
Yeah, so this is the thing. That is her because of her addiction.
True.
That is her
but the
like you got a leech that's grafted to you that this is what she's become, but it's not who she was. And at a certain point, everybody have. So this is the thing. I think that I felt how Ali felt. Like I think that's legit where I am. Ali and we got too close to this chick. And Ant is gonna probably break that down in a second. But we both were like, okay, we see potential in this girl because we've been there. You know what I'm saying? Like we know that she has the capacity to change. She still has to make that initiative herself. We know she's trash. We know for a fact she's been worse. And she's done some mischievous things. She's done some downright disrespectful things. It's still trying. But, there are lines that, you just don't cross because it's going to not only put your life in danger, but other people around you. And the complete disregard to danger and disrespect is like something that, for me, I felt like Ali. I was like, and that's why I said that Coleman, like the way that he acted that, like his body language, like at first it was kind of like really cordial, really, like you all right? Like what's going on in the body? He was like, what was it? Like what's the $64,000 question? What's in the suitcase? And he was really funny about it. And then she kind of was just really brushing him off. And then, she was really disrespectful in the way she came at him about his own children. Like that, he said that in confidence. And we know, when somebody is an addict, they liable to say or do anything. They liable to go and sell their own body if they need to get what they got to get. And I think for me and for, the character Ali, it was just like, it was a wake up call. And it was almost like when you start to see like that side of her, like those demented, sick things that she's willing to do, like it hurts you. And because you hurt, like you're like, all right, I need to take a step back because I don't even care about helping you anymore. I don't even care about being connected to you anymore. And that's where I kind of felt. That's where me as a viewer looked at it because I was like, I want Rue to make it. I don't want Rue to die. I want her to, progress and suffer if she needs to, but I don't want her to go down this spiral. But she might because she don't care. And I think that's the reality. She does not give a darn about Jules. She don't care about her family. She don't care about Ali. She care about them drugs right now. And that's it. Nothing else. But I don't think that refines or defines who Rue actually is. I think that's just who she is right now, and that's who she wants to be. And I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem. That's why I'm conflicted. But anyway, I
think no. I think this is the first time that she's truly disappointed you.
Yeah. I got too close. I flew too close to the sun. That was Icarus. But Ant, what do you think, man?
So Rue. So first, there was a couple of things with Rue's character and stuff. The meta thing I thought was great is she break it down how she views the world and other people in her life, and really how she kind of views other people and situations as challenges to her to getting to the drugs. Yep. So they're obstacles to her getting to her abuse. It's also interesting that Rue was kind of outside the narrative while being a part of it. When she said in the bathroom that she was high, every character, regardless of what you think of their whether they're in a D&D spectrum of neutral, good, or evil, or whatever, everybody in that bathroom was like, "Did you fall off the wagon?" Out of concern,
right.
not of like Maddie wasn't saying it to be gossiping, but they were all genuinely frightened or concerned, right? I thought that was an issue. So when I mentioned earlier that Rue has the ability to really see how to trigger people and how they work and their motivations and things like that when she wants to. There's a thing called borderline personality disorder, and a lot of times that can be heightened by drug use, right? So and a lot of times one of the traits in that is diluted self-image, feelings of anxiety, trying to rewrite the narrative of the world, but you want reactions out of people, and whether you can get a positive one or a negative one, you're going to get it. I think she went to that meeting purposely to get a reaction, to test those boundaries, whether to prove and to push people away, and like, I'm going to go to this next step, but I'm taking these drugs to this meeting. I'm going to let people see me, and then I'm going to leave. She knew he was going to come after her. She knew he was going to say something about it. She set that up as almost the next step of where she wanted to go. And she called it because she knew his kryptonite, that he did start seeing her as a surrogate daughter. And that made him less effective as her sponsor. And she knew this. She called him. I think he realized it too when the anger passed, when the flashes of anger and triggering passed. I think he knew what has happened. Yeah. I'm trying to keep it short and concise. So
nah, that's all deep. So do you think that there's a part of her that does want help in any capacity, or do you think it was all the intent to just hurt him, to push him away so he don't be something that is an obstacle later, or is it both?
So what I've been thinking is I need to really rewatch the first season, because partly I want to know if she thinks she actually deserves help, that she actually feels she deserves help, and whether she feels people leaving is a self-fulfilling prophecy. People are going to leave me, whether that's through death, whether that's because they're going to get tired of me, whether because whatever. And then I do things to make sure that narrative of what I constructed, that people leave, is what's going to happen. Right? I'm doing everything to build this path. And I could be off. I really want to watch the first season again, because there's some things I picked up in this one that I didn't see before.
No, that's good, because even me and Jarrell talked about the special episode, the conversation she had with Ali. She not only does she not want to be on this earth anymore, she does not think that she deserves of anything. She didn't feel like she deserves help or redemption or anything. And it's weird because she threw at her sister that she'd probably kill herself, which technically on a surface level, part of her is true, but she used it like it was like an arrow, like a weapon.
She weaponized it and used manipulation.
And that's where it's so tragic, bro. Like, it's so messed up for me. But I'm sorry, Nat, what do you think about any of this?
I just think it's unfortunate that, again, her sister, she gaslit her sister, considering how last season her sister found her.
Right.
And how that's triggering for her. And it's like, it just sucks. Really, really sucks. And it's disappointing. But I was actually kind of right, but not right, as far as her trying to be a drug dealer. But the reason she became a drug dealer was so she can have access to drugs.
Oh yeah, so there's the
Free
next
drugs.
step of our conversation, because what does that mean? Anybody? Because this woman don't play. Like, she got a bodyguard just butt naked walking around. And Rue has got a whole, I think, was it like $10,000 worth of supply? She's rolling around
worth of drugs.
She really is not trying to, in my personal opinion, I don't think she's trying to sell that. I think she's trying to get high off of it. And who is this going to affect? I guess the bigger question.
She's going down, like I've been subtly implying that, you know, she could be the most tragic character. She could be reaching a point of no return. I feel like that's what's happening. Like the moment where she was trying to pitch her little fantastic plan to Fez, his reaction is disturbing, because like it really sinks in that she's reaching like a nexus, sort of no point of return moment here,
right?
You know, like literally for all we know, because that woman straight up was like, "Listen, if you burn me, like I'll kidnap you and sell you," like straight up.
Like,
And
no problem.
it's like, dude, like literally, this could lead to Fez and Ali having to step in on some Rambo shit to save her. This could lead to like that woman being like, "Hey, we kidnapped her," and then come to find out that someone's like, "Oh, you idiot, that was the sister. That wasn't real."
Right.
It's like, "Oh well, put a bullet in her head."
Right.
This is clearly leading to like not only a point of no return, but something that's going to cause like a seismic rift in her life. Maybe not like permanent sobriety, but it's definitely going to be equivalent to like accidentally, like sort of like waking up, not knowing where you are, and you kind of smash your head accidentally into a concrete wall. That's about to be Rue in about like fucking 5 minutes. She may sell a little bit of it, but nah, she's really shot herself in the foot.
She's gonna mess that all up.
She's smoky, but this ain't a comedy. This ain't a comedy.
Right.
I mean,
and I do want to emphasize Ali's last reaction to her. I thought was devastating. Maybe one of the most devastating scenes in the whole series so far. It's really just a conversation between Rue and Ali outside with her little suitcase. But I just thought that was just so fucked up, so disturbing. The way she was talking to Ali and kind of like it's like turning her back on him, and she was like, "Well, what are you gonna do? You gonna hit me?" It was just whew.
That hurt me, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
it's pretty much Ali and her sister that hurt. That just really hurt. And just again, looking back on her montage of manipulating the situation, it just it's pure manipulation on her part. And like you said, it's gonna have repercussions because she's gonna screw this chick. And again, this is why she should not have been there in the first place. She would not have known that this chick existed if it wasn't for Fez bringing her there in the first place. So low key, unfortunately, Fez has to take a little bit of responsibility here because he shouldn't have brought her there at all. Like, he should have at least picked her up on the way to the party versus bringing her there in the first place. Like, no.
There's no way Fez knew that you're gonna give $50K to a crackhead. like
right.
You saw how he was like, hell no. But she presented very well. I wonder, does she keep her grades up? Have we ever heard anything about her grades before, or what she does? That was all BS.
She's never had any academic issue. It's never been anything that we've never heard the mom say, "Oh, well, your grades is clipping, or you're not doing this." Like, she probably is very smart. She probably got great grades. It's just she's just not there. Like, she's really just not emotionally there. I wonder. Well, okay, let's say it like this. She burns this chick. No matter what, Fez is directly connected anyway, because they were there together that night. If she can't find Rue, she's gonna go to Fez and be like, "Yo, where's your girlfriend? Where's she at? Because she owes me $50,000 or $10,000." And he's gonna be like, "Yo, I don't know what you're talking about."
And then Big Lip Girl gonna be like, "Oh, you mean what's the name of so-and-so's girlfriend? That Jules girl right there?"
Right.
Or that's her sister, or whatever things he knows about. I don't think it's accident that she's absorbing so much knowledge of what's going on in her interact and everything. And I think you're right. One of the things I thought after we watched it was everybody's going like, "Well, you brought this for yourself," but that's not going to be the heartbreaker. The heartbreaker is when this backfires and it hurts somebody that had nothing to do with this, or this could have been avoided, and something can't be changed. Even though I did think it was interesting they brought up Rue's sexuality in this one that they hadn't really discussed before. But like I said, they've done a really good job of framing things to make us anxious and then doing something else over here. So I don't know. It'll be interesting, but I think somebody else pays for this, not her.
Yeah,
but I think she knew it. That's why she was like, "No, don't give me 50. I can't get out of 50 when I'm screwing you over. I might be able to get out of 10."
yeah.
She probably should have started smaller than that. Like she should have started smaller than that, but she got greedy.
You know I'm a crackhead, right? You know I'm a crackhead, right? Okay.
I just.
Hey Sam, can we highlight the Elliot and Jules scene? Because I feel like there's
yes,
a lot
I was just about to say that I enjoyed those scenes actually a lot. Just that those conversations that they've had, I thought it was just very interesting, especially with Elliot. It's like, you're hypocritical. Why are you interrogating me? Like, you need to be worried about yourself. I'm like, yeah, go Elliot. Thank you. But again, that's pulling, Jules' insecurity, and who knows, they may have something going on. It's just a weird ass triangle. But I did think it was interesting that Rue and Jules kind of like progressed their relationship a little bit by making out the way that they have been. But like Jules said, she's not really there yet as far as being fully intimate.
I got a theory on that. I got a deep theory on that. It's gonna be sad, but keep going that.
Well, like she says, she thinks she's asexual, which is a thing, where she doesn't really need sex. Like affection, yes, but not necessarily sex. As far as my understanding of asexuality, please don't get at me for that. But who knows what's gonna happen? I think Jules and Elliot are probably gonna hook up. But then she's really going to realize why they're even friends in the first place. Like, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that the affection that she's given Jules and her ability to be able to do that is because of the drugs. I think it's associated to the drugs, and how the drugs are making her feel is allowing her to be like, oh, I can give you this, or I can give you, I can express more. I feel like underneath it all, I don't think that Rue has the capacity, personally, to give Jules or anybody else anything emotional. I think that there's a reason why, from a sexuality standpoint and what she's really dealing with, I think that Ali was correct. Ali was like, dude, you don't need to be in any relationship at all, because right now you can't trust what your actual emotions are. You can't even trust your actual motivations. And I think that because of the drug, like every single time she even said, like, I love the way these drugs make me feel because I could do this or whatever. And every time that her and Jules got, intimate or some capacity, she was high completely. And it's just weird because I don't know what's going to happen with Elliot. Jules is scaring me, bro. Like, Jules had opportunities to be messing around with a whole bunch of different folks. Last week it was Maddie. And now, daggone Elliot. Elliot is a little player, man. Elliot's like spitting game.
He's spitting that game.
Like he was like,
I gotta give him props. I gotta give him props. I'm like,
you're a great artist. Like you're attractive.
Like, yeah, my nigga is slick. He was like, you got that Kurt Cobain look. You kind of good looking. You know what I'm saying?
I get what but yeah,
he went to all the characteristics, like, and then on a superficial level, you got nice tits.
Okay, so this is what Nate should be. But again, is that the drugs talking, or is that just him? We don't know for sure either with that.
Look,
I just know this, that
what
we don't know what
his drug use, I feel like, is way more smooth than Rue's at the moment. Like hers is just chaotic as fuck. But Elliot is just chill, and maybe he's just more of a weed smoker, and maybe just a little light drug use.
I mean, but we don't know who Elliot is.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't know what kind of man this is. I mean, he could be trying to gun for both of them. He said to Jules, yeah, I do got a crush on. He eventually said, I do have a crush on Rue. But he's like, you're a catch too. And that's basically how he framed it. And he set himself up to still be Rue's drug companion. And now he has Jules on the side for emotional support. He's giving both of these women exactly what they want.
Hell yeah.
Like, he literally has them just like this.
It's so different from Nate, though. I don't know what his motivation is. I think he just fell into it, so he's rolling with it versus him actually actively pursuing this situation. Whereas Nate is obviously purposefully pursuing something with Cassie and Maddie. Like he's playing chess here, like you said. So with Elliot, I just think he's rolling with it. He's just seeing where it goes. And hey, if he happens to get both, he wins.
Yeah.
Elliot seems very secure in who he is, and at least
Yep.
who he thinks he is at this moment. And I think that
Yep.
comes off versus a Nate. Like, you ever see somebody like they're good looking, they got money, or they're wearing the nicest clothes, but you can tell they are fragile inside. They can't maintain relationships or anything like that because they are or they're afraid of somebody seeing how fragile they are inside.
Right.
That's Nate in a lot of ways. Elliot is, I'm all right. This is life. Like, go with it.
On top of doing drugs. On top of doing drugs.
You know what?
So,
you know what? I might actually like Elliot. You know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga. No, I'm being straight up. Like, this nigga is for real. This nigga is straightforward. He's clearly got some good game. Nigga smooth. You know what I'm saying? He's just, my man's just out here vibing. You know what I'm saying? He might give a Rue. You know what I'm saying? He might give a Jules. It don't matter. Let me go snort this shit real quick and see what happens.
I might end up in a triad for all I know. I could be the third person in this
I
relationship.
feel like he would be perfectly comfortable doing that. Like he wouldn't care. Like he would be very comfortable just with whatever situation happens to pan out. And I just, like you said, he's very secure in himself. Like, he knows who he is, or at least from what we know, he knows who he is. And he understands he understands his lane. How about that?
And he's not preying on them.
Right.
He's not like with Nate. Nate is preying. He's being a predator to Cassie and Maddie. He ain't doing that. He's living free, baby.
I think the thing is, he's not being exploitive, but he is. What he's doing that they both want is acceptance.
Right.
Yeah. He accepts Jules and he accepts Rue.
Yeah.
And I think that's his end, and he knows himself.
Yeah.
So you know yourself, you know your opponents. Victory is guaranteed 100% of the time. And I think he picked up on what I'm thinking, Rue, because they brought up sexuality. And the thing I was thinking is that what you alluded to earlier is that she might be sapiosexual. She's attracted to like intelligence or how just how someone is versus any other outside characteristic. And maybe she doesn't need sex. Like maybe physical contact is not high on her list. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I thought that was I don't know, but Elliot grew on me really fast. I didn't expect it.
I did like him in this episode because I was like, Jules, when she was interrogating him, that's when I was like, okay, I respect him because he held his own on that. His answers were so on the phone.
Yes, own that.
Even admitting when he was nervous, even admitting when he was anxious. Like, yeah, I'm a little anxious when I'm answering this, but also, and I was like, and then I thought it was when Jules took I don't know if it was a cigarette or a joint out his mouth and took a puff of that. I was like, oh, they gonna kiss. They going. That was a little intimate thing right there. And you know what? That's how much game he got. He won us all over.
He got a lot of game. And he's smooth. He's a smooth criminal, but he's not being a predator, but he's being very manipulative. Reason why I say that is because he's holding back he's withholding information from Jules about Rue. And then also at the same as that time saying to Jules, well, you know what? Yeah, you could, in so many words, you could do better. And he's also playing to Rue what she needs is drugs and somebody willing to do it with her. And what I'm saying is that's manipulation. And you could say he's playing the cards as they are.
Is it manipulation or is he respecting Rue's, confidentiality in that sense? Or it could be both. It could be both.
He's also just being real. He's also just being real as fuck. To be honest with you, like I have not picked up any sense of malice or manipulation from him in any sense.
Man.
I think that's what it is. I don't think this is malicious. I think it might be opportunistic, but also he hasn't told a lie.
Right?
No, he hasn't.
He's kept it, but he's like, you're a high sexual person. So is she a sexual person? Because I don't get that she wants anybody. And he's like, no, it's like that's a shame. And because I would. And he's like, Rue, like and Rue knows he wants her, but she wants drugs from him. And he knows if I say something like, oh, Rue has drugs, then they fight, I get cut out, they go make up and repeat the cycle over again, except I've lost 2 friends.
Wait,
exactly.
Does Rue need him anymore now?
Well, not
really.
now. Shit.
So that means that probably Jules is just gonna be
Hooking
spending
up
time with him.
100%.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
she
in a
was in that
way,
room.
it's not just because he could have supplied drugs to her. She knows and doesn't care that she does drugs. So
Yes.
it's just someone that she could
Yeah.
do drugs with comfortably
Yes.
and be herself in that sense
Yeah.
without having to hide.
Mhm.
Because she
True.
doesn't
Might be
get
a
that
new
with
runner
Jules.
for her. He might be a new runner
Yeah.
for her. She might use him to sell. Like, hey,
He actually would be a great runner.
he would be. He would be a good
He'd be
stringer
about the
bell.
best one.
He'd be a real good stringer bell to her.
True, very true.
Yeah.
But I do think it was interesting because, like you said, I think Ant and Sam, like y'all mentioned about Rue's intimacy, like the lack of it, and the fact that she uses drugs to have any sort of form of intimacy with Jules. Well, she had a crush on her last season, and they literally just got to this point, partially because of her drug use. So she was shy. She couldn't make the move or tell her how she felt back in season 1, even though they had that closeness to each other, and then get mad when, Jules wound up hooking up with more than one person because they weren't technically together. So when you think of it that way, yeah, the drug use is, helping her, be intimate with people or, make out, whatever.
I was also wondering, because I know how extended drug use can affect male libido and ability to maintain or maintain an erection, but I don't know really how it affects women's sex drive. So that'd be interesting to look into too, which I'll probably
I have no idea.
By the way,
I wasn't asking you a woman.
Man, we getting deep in this whole conversation.
Like I don't know if that.
I don't do drugs, so I don't know how that would. No,
I wasn't asking. I was just saying, like,
I'm messing with you. I was like, yeah, I did. I don't.
As a woman, does this?
I mean,
you
if
do
you go
research. You let me know.
on a surface level, though,
okay.
if she's high and she's feeling good, and she's feeling confident, she's feeling brave, she's feeling atmospheric. Sometimes she may be feeling things she couldn't feel on a normal basis anyway.
Sure.
So even though we don't know the classification from a female standpoint, we know what certain drugs can do. So I think there's something possibly to that. But man, have we covered everything? We went a whole hour and 7 minutes. Is there anything we're leaving out?
No, I was about to say shout out to fucking Ant, because my guy, this man just informed me on what was it, sapiosexual shit. I never even heard of this. Shout out to this nigga.
Yeah, no, I've heard of sapiosexuality. But no, real quick, Maddie and the babysitter job that she has. There's been a little bit, not much, but her and Cassie were hanging out. But she's still babysitting this kid, so I don't know when Mama's going to pop up again.
I don't even know what's going on with that storyline. That storyline feels like really skeevy. But I really don't know. I'm more at this point now trying to figure out where is Maddie's character going, because the last episode she was leaning on Jules. Now she's back with Nate, not knowing that Nate is with Cassie and using her to try to get to the disc. What do you think she did with the disc, and why do you think she's holding the disc? I think that's one thing that I didn't question at the end of last season is why did she take the disc and what is she going to do with the disc? I think that's one thing I was curious from y'all's perspective. Do you think that she's just keeping it to keep a level of control, or does she have an intent with keeping the disc?
Can I throw out a little slight hot take? I don't think that this matters. What do you think about that? I don't think it does. I think it's like a almost like a clickbaity illusion, if you will. Like I feel I feel like the tape is almost sort of irrelevant, because the events leading to this tape, I feel like it's really gonna nullify. It's almost like the tape really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone wanted to call and be like, listen, this is a shady motherfucker and here's why, and there were confessions, you don't even need the tape. You don't even need the tape. So I would not be surprised if Maddie, like if Maddie and Nate were drunk one time and Nat was like, yeah, so you heard about this tape, something like that? And she was like, tapes, Schmape, I don't know. I think I deleted it or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I almost have I could be wrong, but I would not be surprised if all this crazy shit happens and we wouldn't even need the tape. Would not be surprised.
But the reason why I can see that in this crazy show, but that's what Nate is after. He's after maintaining and regaining control.
That's true.
And that's the only symbolic thing that he is out. He doesn't have control over. He doesn't have control of Matt because of that.
But he can't win.
Trust.
But he can't win, so
I don't know about that. Can he?
Why can't he win?
What do you think? What are you guys thinking of when? Because for me, winning would be like, he's sort of the victor of the story, which clearly can't be.
Oh, you mean narratively at the end they won't let him win?
Yes. Yeah. So
I think it depends on your concept of what is winning for him.
I think winning for him would be, clearly, I don't know what clearly, but it appears that he wants to kind of resume things with Maddie, find some way to clip off Cassie and send her somewhere. Maybe if he can mess around with her for a little bit longer, that'd be great. But clearly Cassie's not, I feel like he's established that she's not exactly reliable, you know what I'm saying? And Maddie figuring stuff out would be seismic. So I feel like he's probably going to try to get back with Maddie. He's going to try to somehow have fun with Cassie, but eventually just kind of permanently kick her to the side. He needs to somehow get revenge over Fez. He sort of somehow has to keep his dad as sort of like a dog on a leash, and he'll do whatever he says. That's sort of what I mean by winning. But Nate's too evil to sort of give him a Thanos moment. So it's going to be very interesting.
I think people want to see Nate get a comeuppance moment, right? And I think what that's going to come into now I could be wrong, but I think that to them that's either death, jail, or public ruination, right? Based on his father's flashback now, I wonder if it's going to come up. It's going to be in getting Maddie or Cassie pregnant, having to be in another loveless marriage and repeating this cycle over again. I wonder if that's going to be his right. That could be his ultimate.
I was thinking that.
Oh no.
It ain't gonna be Cassie though. It would probably be Maddie because that's what Maddie wants. Maddie wants the kid. She was talking about that last episode.
Ooh, man.
He was talking about being pregnant. I'm like, no, boo.
No. He could.
It ain't gonna be Cassie. I can tell you that much.
So while people might look at his life as, he's gonna have money and respect the community and everything like that, and he'll still be trapped like his father was before him, as far as we know, like his father was before him.
We don't need that. We need that cycle to end. No,
or he's the only character that gets healthy. Or he's the only character that gets healthy. And
no, he needs to die. That's what he needs to do. He needs to die.
Wait, he ended the show last time with look, y'all can't be doing
I'm all for people getting healthy. I'm all, no matter what you do, I'm all for people getting healthy.
Nate's not going to get healthy.
You don't want Nick to get healthy. You want Nick to get comeuppance.
No, he just needs to go. He just needs to go.
Dude, Ant, I think you have something there with the pregnancy.
No.
I know it's hard to hear. But I could totally see Cassie being like, no, tonight I'm revealing the truth. I can't hold it no more. I'm about to kill my motherfucking self, or I'm gonna kill somebody. Like I could totally see Cassie like knocking on the door, being like, "Here's my truth," and then I know where Maddie's like, "I'm pregnant," and then like
either one of them is keeping the baby. Either one of them is keeping that baby because he's convinced them that they love him.
Yeah.
And so.
What if he gets pregnant? What if he gets them both pregnant?
I don't think it's gonna be because Cassie just ended up pregnant before. I don't think she wants to go through that again.
Does she want to give it up again?
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Because the last conversation she had with her mom was like, I know, I will. I assume that was about protection. But you're right. At this point, he spent Cassie's head so much that she may try to do that to keep him. So I didn't think about that.
Oh,
with Nate of all people, he doesn't deserve it.
No. Oh my
He's
god.
toxic as hell. Just
That
Chris.
baby,
Chris
that
can
baby
come back
doesn't
being like,
deserve
"What in
it.
the world? Whose baby is that, Cass?"
Oh my
The
god.
baby
Chris gonna
doesn't.
be pissed.
Oh,
Chris gonna be pissed.
Y'all got my head swimming because now I'm like,
Oh,
fuck. Could they actually give him like a Thanos moment? And when I say Thanos, I'm talking specifically like the last thing you see in Infinity War. Like could they really give Nate a moment like that? That'd be fucking dark as shit.
Man, look,
this.
this show is
Sorry.
not holding any.
sorry. I mean, this probably got another season in it. Y'all got a time.
Hey,
Y'all got
look,
some
we at
time.
least got one more season. I give him 3 seasons at least.
Okay,
Right.
so why do I low-key want Rue's situation to wind up killing Nate and or Faye? Like, can that happen? Like, can her situation just kind of circle back to Nate somehow and just have him get, murked or something versus anyone else? And Faye too, like, just have them both gone.
If Nate dies, I could see one of his girls killing him, one of the girls he's been killing him. I could see him and his father killing him, or him killing his father. I can see those situations happening, but
Look, I'm gonna put a picture up on the character that I do not want to die.
Who?
Even though he's hardcore as a mug. If he died, I'd be done.
Oh, Ashtray, bro, come on, bro. His days are numbered. Sam, Sam, no. His days are limited. You know how dangerous this nigga is. His days are limited.
No.
You can.
Who we need to protect in this show is Ashtray and Fez, Lexi, and Rue's sister.
Bro.
I mean, but we all know
maybe Ali.
now for some time.
Those are the people that I care about living in this show. Like, everyone else is kind of like up in the air. But
Ashtray does some time for something, right? Like, we all accept
right,
that.
yeah. Let him go to prison. Let him go to juvie. Don't kill Ashtray, dog.
Maybe does some murder because at his young age he gets out when he's 22.
Right. Yeah, like it's gonna be a fast forward.
Sam.
But Ashtray would probably, no one would want to mess with Ashtray in prison. Juvie or prison. Like, no. Sam,
listen to me.
The first person to test him would be the last person to test him. Ashtray the kind of guy that gets in, like, look, you do 5 years, you be out easy. 5 years later, he's racked on 10 more years, 10 more years. 10 more years.
Bro, Ashtray's gonna die. Didn't they confirm somewhere that Fez was supposed to die in the first season, but like he didn't for whatever reason? Ashtray's he's dying, bro.
I heard nothing about
it. He dying or getting locked up, Ashtray. 1 to 2, like permanent, nigga. Ain't no way. All he knows is violence, my nigga. Like, what you mean?
I mean, he actually
woke up.
That man's smart, dude. Like, he's the only one who got some straight up sense out of everybody. Like, I don't know.
But it's the only lane that he like knows. Ashtray is sort of,
but he's
like
good
blind.
At it. He's good at his lane.
He is good, but
he is efficient at that lane. Like, matter of fact, Ashtray would be better off, honestly, at this point, moving out and doing his own thing and getting away from whatever's going on with these high schoolers. Because
how old is this nigga Ashtray?
I don't even know. He's got to be in middle school, right?
Right. Wait, what? In Cobra Kai, the 2 Cobra Kai leaders was Kreese, and who was the other guy? Silver, right?
Silver.
And he was like, everybody got a weakness. Fez is Ash's weakness.
That's a fact. That's a straight up fact.
Fez is Ash's weakness. So we'll see how that plays
Ashtray
out.
would kill somebody over Fez, bro. It didn't matter who it is.
100%.
No matter who it is. And I think that this is the thing that might end up happening. This might do Ashtray in. This is what I'm worried about. Rue's the drug dealer chick tries to find Rue, can't find Rue.
Yep.
And is coming and gunning for Fez, and Ashtray intervenes. Because Ashtray was already scoping out that area anyway. When they kind of put him in the bag, he was kind of like looking around. Ashtray would be one of those kids who like, oh, I'm about to kill everybody in here, man. Like, nah, they ain't coming at my brother. So I don't know. This is looking like a bloody mess by the end of the season.
Of course.
Sad that I don't know.
Come on. This same Ashtray 2-3 seasons from now, I'm not buying it. Nigga's going down. I love Ashtray though. Great character, but I'm not buying it. He's going down. I love him, but He's going down.
The rest of the season is just gonna be crazy. We're just talking about this and this is the third episode. Like, there's just so much speculation, and this is just the third episode.
Yeah,
We
I
got
can't wait for the
5
next
episodes
episode.
left.
I
Ooh,
can't wait for the
child.
next episode.
Yeah, I just know for me, man, like I don't feel the same way about Rue, bro. I need to quit her for a little bit, man. I need to kind of not be.
That's so
looking at
Is this your
her-
Walter White moment? Is this your Walter White moment? Like, I'm with you, Walter. I get it. You're doing it in your face. They're like, you ain't do that, Walt. Why you suffocate that girl like that? Why you let that girl die like that, Walt? I'm trying to be. All right, man. I mean, remember Tidy Whitey days? Like,
Look.
back in the middle days. We're back in the middle days, man.
Look, I'm sorry, bro. I need to distance myself from Rue because Rue is dangerous to me, like straight up. Like I at least I know what kind of man Nate is. At least I know what he is.
Sure.
I don't know what she wouldn't do. When you have a person you don't know what they wouldn't do, that to me is the most dangerous individual in the room. Yeah, no. Yeah,
Man, your comments about her are so rough for me because for me it's like everything she's doing. It's like it's hard to say that I called her actions verbatim, but it's like I know this chick. You know, maybe she's not innately. I don't believe that she's innately bad, but like, come on, her actions are.
I'm gonna just leave this picture up here because this picture is not gonna be out to show in at all.
No.
So
It's heartbreaking how fatherly your viewpoints of Rue are because it's you almost sound like a disappointed father to Rue, but like it's like but it was inevitable. It was inevitable. Her steps are inevitable. Sadly.
Well, I think on that note, we should end. Any final thoughts, y'all?
I know we all talked in another chat and how Lucas was telling me that this is an inferior version to the original. I never saw the original, and he also told me this was inferior to Degrassi. I never saw Degrassi either. I'm enjoying this. So many different levels. I think it's very compelling, and I'm really, again, I'm just happy to be talking with y'all. I'm happy I could process this with y'all. So thank y'all.
How about you, Nat?
Yeah, no, we're just getting started in this season. Like, I feel like we really just got started in this season. So who knows what's gonna happen? We're theorizing like mad at this point. So who knows who's gonna be right? If it just branches off into something we're not even expecting, who knows? I'm looking forward to seeing it, and yeah, processing it with you guys because we got to talk about. I don't feel alone anymore.
Oh my goodness, bro. What about you, bro?
I was looking at a forum recently, and I do want to say I do disagree with certain small viewpoints that this show is nothing more than like teenage trauma porn. I personally disagree. This is a take I've seen a few times recently. I disagree with this take. I think it's a very brilliant show, though abrasive, but I genuinely think it's brilliant. I think it owes a lot to. Harmony Korine did not direct; he wrote, but I think it owes a lot to Kids, the film Kids from the '90s. I think it's important. I think there's so much to unpack with the show, and I am also grateful to be watching it with you guys because the third episode really sent me into a an almost depressive, like super introspective state. Yep. It was really rough after watching this episode for the first time. I think there's a lot of realism here. Unfortunately, I think there's a lot of things happening in the show that's echoes in real life.
Yeah. On that note, we're gonna end, man.